Hey everyone, Dan here with another tip of the week. I want to talk about squinting this week, and I'm going to talk squinting friend or foe. That's what we're talking about. What it is squinting is a way to simplify edges and values to make them manageable when you're painting, okay? And all you do is you squint your eyes down, so all you're doing is looking through your eyelashes. No big trick there. So what happens is if you take a picture, a photograph, right? You have a photograph in your hand. You look at it, and normal has a value range of 10. We'll see from the whitest white to the darkest dark is a value of 10. So you have 10 values available to you. And that's the same as what you have available to you when you paint. You know, from bright white to black paint, that's 10. You have a 10 value range is what how we determine it. So, but now if you took that picture and looked at it, you have 10 value range. You took it and hold it underneath a table, underneath your desk. You've got it in shadow, but there's another 10 value range, right? So now you've got a value range of 20. Let's take it out from underneath, bring it back into the light. Now hold it right next to a light bulb. Again, you have another 10 values, right? So automatically, right within being indoors, you have a value range of 30 that your eye can perceive. Probably many more than that. Now take that same photograph outside and hold it in the sun. You've got another 10 values, you know, over and beyond what you had there. Hold it in more direct sunlight, you have another 10 values. So outside you may have 1,000 values that your eye is capable of perceiving, 500,000, I don't know. And inside, maybe 50, maybe even more. So how do you simplify that down to 10 values of your painting medium? Because that's all you've got available to you. So squinting is one of the ways that you do that, right? So when you squint down, what essentially happens is you darken everything. So let's look at this. You see how it darkened everything, and it simplified this background all into one value, and all this into a value. So it simplifies all these things down to just one value, and it does it. That's how it does it with value. Now, of course, this isn't a perfect translation because this is already 10 values, but by reducing it down maybe 5 to 5 values, we get an idea of how it does that. Okay? So that's how you do it for value. Now, for edges, let's look at this and say, okay, right now we can see edges everywhere, sharp edges everywhere, all over the place, all around these grapes, all around here, all around these guys, this edge, the edge here, they're all pretty sharp. But let's say we squint at it, right? And then we kind of blur the thing. Now see, all the sharp edges here went away. And even this edge isn't really all that sharp anymore, but this stayed pretty sharp. And most of these edges went away, but see, this edge stayed really sharp, pretty sharp. So that tells you these would be your predominating edges. Maybe these first two, maybe this. And then this would be maybe the next sharpest edge. You know what I'm saying? And then finally this and this, but nowhere in the grapes. So that's what squinting does for edges. So what it does is it gives you the order of things, right? And that can really help you a lot when you're trying to simplify. Now the downside to squinting is it has a tendency to want to obliterate everything. And some people even go so far as to say only paint what you see when you squint. And now that may be good for some people, but that obviously isn't the best answer for everyone, because someone might want to put a sharp edge somewhere for a dramatic effect that you don't see when you squint. Or they'll say don't put any detail in that you don't see when you squint, but you know, when you squint at someone's face, you don't see their eyes, some real nice things in their eyes that you may want to put in. So that becomes a personal choice, what you decide you want to put in your painting, what you want to leave out. And sometimes you're going to want to put different edges in and change the value structure to make the best possible painting rather than just duplicating what's in front of you. So squinting is certainly a great jumping off point, but I don't think it's the complete end all. So just be careful with that. And really, ultimately, you're going to paint what you want to paint, and paint whatever you think would make the absolute most beautiful painting for you, for your work. All right. Well, that's Dan Edmondson with another tip of the week. Have a fantastic day.